Next play investors. What's the next play? Play Investors. What's the next play?
Welcome to Next Play Investors. I definitely want to thank y'all for joining us again this week. This week we are going to be talking about passive income and how you can actually make passive income. We're getting very intentional again because, as you can see, there's a lot of different things going on in the market, and there's a lot of different things that we got to be aware of and be prepared for over the next couple of months and years. And we got to keep practicing. We got to be consistent about how we are actually approaching the next years of our life because of the simple fact that it's a lot of things going on that will change. And when the pandemic hit, a lot of people were out of place. They didn't really understand what was going on. They didn't know what to do. So we're going to be prepared this time. We're going to build, we're going to gather, and we're going to continue to keep trying to push forward to learn how to navigate the financial markets of America so we can live and enjoy our lives. Join us every Sunday as we talk about different topics about investing and how to build wealth, different things that are going on that we can help each other out with. And it's just a great conversation with a great group of people. So definitely want to see you again next Sunday and the Sunday after that, and keep it consistent. So you can join the show, click on Facebook, come on live and kind of be with us. Join on the Google link. The link is there in the Facebook group. So let's get over here. We got Mr. Rivers here talking, and we're going to come on in and see what everybody else is doing. What's going on, man? Yeah, I was
Hmm.
I was sitting here just kind of getting everything
Kind
together
of getting
and
everything together.
seeing what everything going. As far as like getting it all set up,
Good.
but I got a lot of stuff, man. Your camera is like
Stuff, man. Your camera is like
super. You must be on your phone.
phone. What's with?
I say you breaking up.
I say you breaking up. What's wrong with my camera?
It just look kind of blurry.
Kind of blurry. Really? That's interesting. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. See what happens. See what
What's going on,
happens.
Reggie? How you doing? Stacy trying to get herself together. We was just trying to. We died out a little bit there. So back to.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you, so I know. So Reggie, how was your week been?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Oh man, all has been well. I'm glad to hear everybody is actually, we here and live, man. So did you get the topic for today, Reggie?
No, I did not.
Okay, so today, just to think about it, today is what are new ways to get passive income? And so we're gonna, that's the questions. We got to make sure we get you set up in the group. But what is ways to get? And we took our Airbnb, Turo, and real estate because we said that those are well known. We got to find new ones. All right.
Yeah.
So
All right.
the
Sound like
craziest
a
thing,
plan?
so the craziest thing is they talking about another rate hike. The market took a dump again last week.
It did.
For a lot of people. It depends on what side of the table you on.
Yay!
Yeah, it dropped. It was basically they had a report on Tuesday, which was what's called a CPI report.
Yep.
And it's like an inflation report. And normally inflation, the CPI needs to be around 6%. And I think it went up like 1.5 to like 6.8. No, maybe even higher than that. Maybe like almost 8%. It was close to 8%. And so that meant that inflation was still out of control. So the market took that as, of course, when the Feds meet, they're going to do some drastic measures to control this inflation. And this week on Tuesday, the Feds meet again to talk about what they're going to do. And right now they're saying 0.75 basis point up to a point in interest rates. And already I know that in the housing market, that houses are staying on the market longer than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I think it was like 12 days. Now it's like 47 days where a house sits on the market. And if they raise it again, it's probably going to get a lot worse. So you're probably going to, by the end of the year, you may start seeing house pricing come down a little bit, along with the rental income come down a little bit, because if the houses stay on the market long, of course they're going to get cheaper, and then that just kind of plays a part with the rent also. But that's what happened, and you're probably going to see some sell off this week, depending on what Jerome Powell says on Tuesday.
Well, you were right. It was 8.3%. And the CPI, just to give everybody some information, the CPI is the Consumer Price Index. And basically, it's an index that manages all of the spending. We used to talk about, the CPI numbers when we first started next year. We used to talk about that every Sunday.
About a lot of stuff.
We used to talk about that every Sunday when we started the show, of all these numbers, and it's amazing that this is how the world runs, and that's why I thought about it to myself, is we got to get back to keeping up with it, if you actually, because it actually affects the market, and you can actually see how it affects the market now. We might didn't know what we were talking about when we first started, because we didn't know, we learned the numbers, but we hadn't used the numbers.
Well, let me talk real quick about how you use those CPI numbers.
Go ahead.
So, okay, and also, you got to keep, being in the market, you got to keep up with what's going on all the time. Mm-hmm. So, with this, so before the CPI numbers come out, you got to strategize on how you're going to play the market. how you gonna play the market if the numbers are good? How you gonna play the market if the numbers are bad? So basically, if they're good, then you're probably gonna see a run up on the bull side. If they're bad, then you're probably going to see a sell off on the bear side. And depending on what stocks you trade or what stocks you buy, based upon what's said in that particular report, is going to determine how you're going to play the market. That particular day, if you day trade and if you swing trading, you're going to play the market in a particular way, based upon that report. And I personally did it this week and traded bear or traded on the bear side when the CPI data came out. And it was a profitable week for me.
It's amazing, though, how in 2020 we found this information and how relevant it is now.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like, to go back and look at these numbers, and it's public information.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's public information. Like, and people are still like, that's the thing about the numbers in the stock market. All the information is there. You just got to know how to interpret it.
And how to use it.
And how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. Interpret it. That's it.
But then, and that type of information is public. But if you think about it, if you count your circle of friends within a circle of 20 friends, how many of your friends know about the CPI data report?
Maybe 4. Maybe 4.
All right.
maybe
yep.
4. I'm gonna say 3. Nah, I'm
gonna
gonna
say 2.
I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4. I can count 2. I'm gonna say 4 people know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah. How about you, Nicole? How many people in your circle know about the CPI data report? Or she busy?
She got her phone on mute.
Oh, okay.
You know what? That's interesting question. Because I realize some of my friends know a lot more than I think they do. And some of them are moving in different directions. So I'm kind of connected with people in different avenues. So I really couldn't give a number because I'm connected to a lot of people. But I would say, if I had to say, I would say maybe about 10.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got a good circle.
Yeah, I do. And I'm not even trying to brag or boast, but I definitely am connected with some good people.
What about
you? Sounds like it.
So, I don't have a huge circle of friends. My friend circle is pretty small. Honestly, right around a half dozen or so. But we all talk about this on the regular. We talk about the intricacies of it. We talk about Papa Powell. We talk about what happened in the 80s and how the things that are happening now are becoming a bit of a reflection of the circumstances that got Paul Volcker to do what he did. And we also talk about housing. Like I said, I got a few friends in real estate. I've dabbled in real estate myself. So we pay attention to these reads that affect the market, and real estate is usually between 6 months and a year behind what happens in the markets. So we pay attention because it's usually a pretty decent foreshadowing of what's happening, of what will happen in real estate.
Totally understand.
Okay.
I definitely understand that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that
one thing, whether your friends, may know about it or not, because anybody that's taken a macroeconomics class might know about it. But the thing is whether you guys actually discuss it, as opposed to, the latest, TV show or something like that. So yeah, there's a little bit of a difference between just knowing about it and being able to discuss it on the regular. And that's one thing that I and my friends do. We kind of discuss it.
That's a good point.
So what do y'all think about real estate play? Or
the real estate play for me is that's the reason I already told you is I'm saving up. That's the reason I'm stacking chips, man. Because and that's why I'm just giddy that the market is falling. Let it fall, man. Let it fall. I can't wait for blood to rain in the streets. And when it happens, cream, baby, cash rules everything around me.
That's
Right.
definitely gonna be it. So Nicole, did you get the topic for today?
I did, and I was excited when I saw it because I think the light has come on for me, and this has been an interesting week of trying to work with. I finally decided to do it. I actually mentioned this to Stacy a couple of weeks ago about me going ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just do it. So I did. So I started the refi process on my home. It was very alarming to see how much money that I could have actually taken out and how much money I would have still had left over. So just being able to kind of, talk with my loan officer, try to figure out what I'm going to do moving forward. But like right now, I have my eyes set on a coin laundry. So I think that's what I think I'm going to do. I talked to my mom about it today to kind of see what, her thoughts, because I'm going to need my family to help me to run some stuff. But that's kind of what I'm looking at, a coin laundry. And then kind of once this housing market go down, I'm definitely purchasing another home. And I don't know if I'm going to just Section 8 it out. I'm not for sure, but I think I do have my eye on the coin laundry. So that's where my focus is right now. So I was excited to see that income.
Yeah, you may want to talk to Sequesta about the coin laundry.
I am.
She was trying to open one.
Yep. Yeah, I remember she shared that with me. And so two of my line sisters, they're interested too. I just don't want to partner with anybody. Because I at first I thought about partnering, but if I partner someone, it would definitely have to be my family or husband when that happens. But I don't want to partner up with anybody right now. So I just kind of want to do it on my own. So the guy that I talked to, he is in Albany. He doesn't live in Albany. He lives in another state. So he has a coin laundry in Albany, Georgia. He's selling it for $140 because, he was like, it's great. He's like, it's doing great. The passive income is great. It's just the fact that he's in another state and just trying to run that business in another state. He said it's just too much. And so, I have people who could be able, like my mom, my sister, brother, to go down there and check it for me. And then I could check it on the weekend. But, that was just one city that I looked at. So I'm just going to I saw another one in Marietta. So I'm just going to, but that's where my eye is. So that's kind of what I want to make sure that's my goal for 2023. So if I don't go in and buy the property, I definitely want to do the coin laundry because I kind of want to do stuff that everybody's not doing. So that's why I was kind of sharing with my best friend, like he stated, like at one point, everybody was owning a laundromat. So I just kind of want to do something that everybody is not doing right now in this season. But because I feel like I can get a house anytime, but I'm just trying to also get my credit score to like an 850. So I just got some other goals. So that's why I was telling you all last week. Everybody's timing is different. And so just because we sit in the meetings, it doesn't mean that I'm not, or anybody else is not trying to move. I may not move at your time. I have to move when it's my time to do it. So I think now it's my time. And I think I've gotten a lot of good nuggets in the past 2 years out of the group, really good nuggets to get me in preparation for my next. So I'm really, I got my hands ready for some big stuff in 2023. So I'm taking a substantial amount of money, but once I take this money out, I know exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to invest.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a real good thing right there that you actually progressed and moved to that way. So I wanna say something. And so the topic when I wrote it out, and I want to get topics from all of y'all. I don't want to have to, because I think that if we talk about stuff directly, more often, get more people involved. I think that some people have questions, and we gotta, if we don't know the answer, let's go research them and try to go through all these people that we know or don't know, and start continuing to build on the knowledge. So as you said, Nicole, you're trying to go through your journey and move forward, because you've learned how to invest your money now, as well as Reggie is waiting to, be able to pull the trigger when the market goes down. We're all pretty much trying to build and get ready for what we know is coming, because we've been here constantly talking about it, and it stays on everybody's mind. So, like I said, the topic was new ways for passive income. I'm gonna start this one off because it's something that I'm still considering myself. Because I realize, like, when you look in other places, they don't have space. They don't have the ability to have the extra amount of space that we have as Americans. And but now they got a new service called Neighbor, and Neighbor allows you, again, and I think I talked about this a while back. Neighbor allows you to rent space from at your house, covered or uncovered, to other people. And so I know I said Airbnb is out, but Neighbor is another way that you can actually use your home or your property to be able to not just rent it out to a person. You can actually take a property and rent it out as a storage area without having to worry about tenants. All you have is stuff sitting, and you can still make money in the same fashion. You may not make as much, but then you don't have to worry about wear and tear on a property. It's really clever because I've been studying it a lot more, because the thing is, you can actually have that property, section it off just like a regular storage building, and people are taking homes making about $1,500 a month, renting out homes in sections, bedrooms, closets. One, like, taking a whole bedroom, saying this is one space the size of, um like what you would have a U-Haul, but because it's in a house, it's more secure, it's more safe. It's not in the elements, it's in a more, and then you run your air conditioner on a set temperature just to keep, just to keep things calm. But you turn, instead of and taking that house, you can take your house and make it into a storage building in little bitty spaces that may be $100, $200 at all these storage places. You can actually do it with your house. The crazy part about it is, when you look back at it and understand that a lot of people don't have homes, so storage buildings are really popular. If you notice, a lot of them are going up everywhere because people need storage, and people pay a premium for storage, and you make passive income because you don't have to do anything. It just sits there. You don't. They move it in, move it out. It's the same thing with Turo, same thing with Airbnb, but it's so many different ways now to use the property that you already own to generate money that you don't actually have to work for. I don't know how much of y'all catch Cash Flow Stacy's post on Instagram and Facebook, but it's a lot of knowledge in it. And so, I just want to know, you know what I mean, from other people, have what other sources of passive income have y'all heard about that we can all kind of start looking into, because everything doesn't have to be earned income, as Cash Flow say. Everybody spend most of their time um working for earned income. So what other ways can y'all think come into y'all head about passive income?
Well, this is Cash Flow speaking, and I tell you, I've always loved passive income, and I guess since last November, We learned about trading covered calls and covered calls and naked puts. And this has been one of the easiest forms of passive cash flow that I've ever endeavored in. And I like it because basically you're just using your money to make money. So, you don't have any employees, you don't have any anyone, calling out sick, showing up late for work. You just basically, you're mostly almost like a money manager, but you're managing your own money using what I like to call the cash flow wheel, where you purchase stocks, you get paid for it. So that's one form of passive income. Then you get to write covered calls on those same stocks that you purchased. Write a covered call on it. That's a second form of passive cash flow. Then, if the stock happens to run up, say if you bought it for $1 and it ran up to $3, then that's a profit of $2. That's a third form of cash flow. And so, just from your office or from your car, you could do this from any place in the world. You don't have to answer to anybody. And to do those type of trades, it's roughly 65 cents per trade. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to take those. You look at a trade, and if it's not paying a certain amount, if it's not paying, say if you want to make a minimum of 10% on your money, and if it's 9%, you don't have to basically swing at the pitch. And I've been investing in passive cash flow for a long time, and I got to say that I think this is by far one of the one of the most lucrative forms of passive income that I ever indulge in. It's not the simplest because there's a huge learning curve when you're learning about the cash flow wheel and covered calls and covered puts. But as far as it being lucrative, I think that's one of the strongest ones that I've ever indulged in.
Well, I was doing research. I'm sorry, Franco. I was doing research when I saw when Franco, I guess, I don't know if it was WhatsApp. I'm not sure where I saw it at when he talked about the topic, but it was just when I had just kind of was jotting things down over the week. And I was really surprised of the different, because, you first thing come to mind is like real estate, stock, that type of stuff. And then I saw the stuff, Franco, what you talked about with renting the space or whatever. But then I thought about like the billboards and like people that I know who run for office and just different things with people trying to advertise their businesses or whatever they're trying to advertise. I was like, be quiet. Billboards, that would be a good way. And then I saw stuff like promoting products, vending machines, that's been around for a while. And then starting a blog. I didn't even realize that starting blogs is passive income. I may read people blogs all the time, but I just don't really pay attention to it like that, thinking about money.
So can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but when you think about a blog, because that was one of mine too. When you think about a blog, why do you think a blog makes passive income?
You said, why do I think it makes passive income?
How do you think a blog makes passive income?
I'm not for sure. I mean, I guess I'm just going to take a stab at it, shot at it. But just say, for example, if y'all know my favorite passion is education. Say if it's a blog about education or whatever. And so it may be, giving people advice and um, I don't know, like maybe you're paying for a service, some type of service.
So I'm gonna help you out here because that was one of
Yeah,
my
please
things.
help me.
So with a blog, you make passive incomes off ad clicks through Google, people advertising on your site, companies wanting you to write blogs so they can have content on the web because half of the reviews that you read online are paid reviews. You don't have to do nothing but write it and you keep making money off of it through all these different revenue streams after you write one page. As long as you have traffic coming to it, people will pay you and you don't have to do anything. All you got to do is let the traffic come to your build traffic to a website. That's why when you go on Google and you actually see a review, a lot or something particular to the exact a review that'll pop up particular to the exact thing that you're searching. People get paid to write reviews for this all the time. A lot of your review sites are nothing but paid advertisement to look like regular sites. So a blog site is actually the new way of really making a lot of money because you can actually when with the crazy thing about the AdSense from Google and all the people, somebody clicks on your page, you get paid. Then if you have the affiliate listing with those that same person, you're going to get paid for every sale again. And so you don't even have to sit there and work for it. You just build it and people come and it makes money for you. You may write the post one time and to leave the post there for years and never come back to it, but it's generating money in your AdSense account. It's generating revenue from affiliate listings. And this is again, it goes back how the young generation has really caught on to these forms of income from social media managers, all these things. Well, social media managers more hands-on, but all these things, they're making a lot of money just off affiliate links and writing something as simple as blogs that they may take one day a week and write a couple of pages of different posts, and eventually Google will put it in the index and it will be pulled and eventually it could be the top search one if it's a good blog and you can make a lot of money off just writing, as you said, in even for you, Nicole, because you're in the school system, you could write stuff about schools. Sequester, you could write stuff about hair. Reggie, you could write stuff about VR, and people will pay you to post content and AdSense comes to your account that you don't even have to work for.
Yeah, I already do that.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I need. That's what I need to start doing because one thing, I'm a great writer, so I need to start doing. I'm gonna look into this.
Remember, I told you I was supposed to become a SME, subject matter expert.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my bag for quite some time. And like I said, in my earlier form of business, I really did quite well with it. And like I said, now that I've changed up and become a little bit more on the VR spectrum, where I was a little bit more on the business marketing spectrum earlier. So now I'm doing the same things. Matter of fact, I just put my first review out for a piece of VR equipment 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
So yeah, it's something that's and it's been out. I mean, as a matter of fact, vlogs have been around long before you're basically, your Instagram influencers, things like that. People have been making money off blogs and websites for a minute, man, for the last almost 20 years.
Mm. I mean, I know people make money. I just kind of was wondering how, do you just create the blog and then just start writing or posting,
Well, and so just to kind of you can basically, just to help you out, Nicole, um, is you can just you have to create a website with a blog on it through WordPress or some web platform, and you just start building traffic to it. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then it's not really a simple thing. I mean, it's not really a complicated thing. You just the biggest thing you may have to advertise your page and find ways to advertise and pay a little bit to get it popular, because for people to start coming to your blog. But it's a piece of passive income. Once you build it and you kind of set it and forget it, you may have to do some building to get it going, or you could happen to just be lucky. I mean, nobody can say whose path is going to go which way. You know what I mean? You can start it and it becomes the hottest topic on the internet for a while. I mean, it could go, people could just so happen to be searching exactly for what you're talking about, or as you say, as a good writer, you're able to write such a great piece. People actually look at it as important. It just it's nothing to determine how well it's going to go, except for the fact that if you write it and people will come. And AdSense is all based off traffic. The more traffic you have to your site, the more AdSense was going to be able to pay you. You know what I mean? Because people want to advertise on it. So it's not expensive. You probably could start a blog for about $200. But the part is you just got to build traffic to it. But it's passive income once over time. So if you just wrote it for fun, you never know what happens in 10 years. It could be making you money, and that's just how it works. What's up,
Thank you.
Sequester?
That's the information.
Hey,
That was
Sequester.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Everything.
Uh-oh.
This is getting creepy.
So, Sequester, it's your turn.
It's my turn. What I'm supposed to be doing?
Passive income besides Airbnb, Turo, or real estate.
Um, let's see. I've been looking into kind of sort of what you was talking about, but online, like online course, not a blog or vlog, but a course that so they have different kinds. So you have one where you have one-on-one courses, or you have webinars or Zooms, or where you create something one time and then you just keep playing, I guess, if you want to use that word, kind of using that same material over and over and over, and just get paid every time somebody looks at it.
So it's a question. All right. Because you were in the Next Play, and because you are a Next Play member, I gotta get it loaded up to the cloud. I just actually bought this thing from this company called Creator U, and it's about marketing. It has a lot of marketing, but they have a lot of stuff in there about creating those type of courses and how you get started. It's a marketing, but that's what they actually sell is like coaching. They help marketing for service-based businesses and people that do coaching. So I'm gonna get it loaded up. I'm gonna send it to you in your email because you can look at it because it didn't cost me nothing really, and I gave it to my son. But it's got a lot of information on there on how to create courses and how to make sales with courses.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, it's called. If you look it up online, it's called Samcart.
Samcart. Kartra?
No, it's called Samcart.
Samcart.
Yeah, it's called Samcart. I got it loaded up on the cloud drive, but I send it to you because I don't need that part. I was getting the marketing part, and it tell I don't need that part. So I don't. But it definitely got some information on there how to build coaching classes. Because I ain't look at it, so I can't tell you nothing about it. But I definitely send it to you. I try to have it loaded up soon.
All right.
Yeah, if not, I might have to see you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Right, man. What type of coach? I went to go get some water. I'm sorry. I missed part of the coaching classes.
Well, no, what it
What
is
type of coaching classes?
I ordered some training stuff for marketing.
Uh-huh.
Inside of it, they actually have stuff about creating your online courses. And I mean, anybody in Next Play, if y'all want to do courses, I'll send it to you. I mean, because I don't plan on doing like courses, but it's in there. Y'all can look at it and y'all ain't got to pay for it because it didn't cost me nothing really. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting because it's not. Don't think it's in depth. They're basically just touching on beginners level stuff to help you get started, and they may give you some advanced tactics, but it's not really. You have to spend more money. That's the reason they sold it, because that's kind of part of why people sell courses. They give you,
Right.
yeah, they give you a little bit of information about what they talk about and get you started. So then once you get going, you're gonna need a little bit more information to kind of continue the process. So you know what I mean. But it's called Samcart. If y'all want to go look it up, and then that way I get it to you. Y'all can see what's actually on there if it's worth y'all time. I hate to be Sam Cart. Y'all owe Next Play some sponsorship money because of the simple fact we talking about y'all live online. But yeah, it's called Sam Cart. Yeah, Sam Cart hollered at us. We need to check. But yeah, so it's one of those situations where y'all go look at it and then shoot. If y'all want to use it, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I let y'all, cause as people in the group, man, I want to share with everybody, because I got the part I wanted and I'm good.
So if I wanted to create like a self-care course,
You can create it. Long as
yeah, that's what I think I want to do. I think I want to, because like I'm real big on self-care. Like
But that's
I've
not passive income until you create it. Then it becomes
yeah.
passive. You got to
Mhm.
create it. Then it becomes passive income after you create it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because the people who order your stuff, like, even shoot. To be honest with you, Cash Flow over there really know about this, because he kind of got something
Yeah,
like.
he got one.
He know
On
about
trucking.
everything over
Yeah, he
Yeah.
there.
kind
Oh,
of got
cash flow,
one.
Stacy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
kind of
he
got one
told us.
over there. Yeah, so he kind of don't seem like the fact that literally you make money and you don't know the people that buy your stuff.
Because I wanted to create a self-care book, but that would make more sense to do like a little course and
I mean,
like
you can do an ebook too. It's the same thing.
Same thing. Yep.
the ebook. Well, I was gonna do a real tangible book, but I didn't know if I was gonna have the time.
Nicole, let me tell you a secret. You gonna mess yourself up by
But if
creating a
it's a
tangible book.
secret,
I'm
go
gonna tell
ahead.
you gonna
Go
mess
ahead.
yourself up trying to create a real book. Because
Yeah,
most people don't buy real books no more.
that's true. I do. I'm old.
I do both.
I do both.
I've also started listening to more books.
Me too.
So
Like,
I
what
can
was
get
that
through more
drifting
books.
book we was reading? Like, I bought the book and I have the audio. So I like audio too.
All right, so we got any more passive income suggestions for today? Cause see, one of the biggest things, like I said at the beginning, we see the writing on the wall as far as what's going to happen in the next year or two. When the pandemic hit, nobody knew what to do. Nobody really knew how to make income, and everybody was going crazy. So if it's going to get bad again, how are you going to survive? How are you going to make ends meet? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to find ways? Because people are going to lose jobs. They're going to be budget cuts. People are going to get kicked out of houses. People, like, that's just part of the downside to the war, where somebody wins, somebody loses. Which side are you going to be on? Ooh, it got
That's why I've been
quiet.
looking hard at Shopify. There's a reason I've been looking pretty hard at Shopify, because Shopify's been beat down, but I think there's a lot of potential come next year when everybody's looking to do side gigs and start selling stuff.
Well, I think that's an oversaturated, like, because I think that's the problem. I think everybody's trying to sell stuff, and I think that's why Shopify is taking such a hit, is because everybody got something for sale, trying to get people to buy from offline. But I ask you this, Reggie, what happens when? Because let's say it this way: what if another platform starts to take over besides Shopify? Because it's a lot of platforms out there now that's coming out.
Tons of them. Tons of them. But the thing is that Shopify wins whether the person sells or not. I mean, there's really much. I mean, if you want to look at the granddaddy of it, which is PayPal. I mean, not PayPal, but eBay. eBay and PayPal used to be the same company technically.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, with their business model, doesn't matter whether that person, sold their item or not, or paid money or anything like that. The fees and things were collected up front. So that's why I haven't pulled the trigger. As a matter of fact, I'm not pulling the trigger on anything anytime soon because I'm waiting for blood in the streets. But yeah, the whole gig economy and all these people that have been quiet quitting and the whole big resignation thing that happened last year. I have a feeling all these folks, by this time next year, it'll be a completely different story. Like I said, there's so many ways that you can monetize the things that you like and the things that the things that you're a part of. Like I said, I quit my job and I quit my job in IT and started a business many years ago just to be doing stuff that I love. I then backed it up with some paper with another degree. And now I'm doing the things that I like to do that I would be doing regardless whether I made a paycheck or not. And the plan, to monetize is to become a SME. If you're a subject matter expert, like Nicole can be a subject matter expert on education. She already has plenty of a large constituency of people. She's always going to events, things like that. How come she can't become a speaker at those events? And then you do speaking for maybe a year. Maybe you travel the entire state of Georgia speaking on that. Then you take a compilation of all those speeches and things like that. Then you put together a trade book, okay? And that trade book becomes kind of like a de facto standard in the industry. So now she got paid to do something that she wanted to do in the first place, and now she's an authority figure on it, which will raise her pay. And on top of that, she now has digital products to sell. And I mean, it really does kind of snowball. Like I said, I've kind of been down that road with another industry, and that's, I think I totally announced this to you guys. What, December of this last year, January. I said, this is my plan. This is what I plan to do, and anybody can do it if they really kind of like what they do. But if what you do is just a 9 to 5 and you go home and you get rid of it at the end of the day, then no, maybe that's not necessarily for you. Maybe you should find something else that you might want to be part of that raises your interest to the point where you can, speak on it, blog about it, things of that nature.
Gotcha. I totally understand, man. Totally understand. I think it's a good thing. All right, so I guess I got one question to ask everybody. I mean, because it is getting close to 8:30. Uber. Did y'all hear?
Hear what?
Uber just had the biggest data breach of any
Oh,
tech company.
Lord have mercy.
And that means all your trips could be out there in the dark web. All your personal information could be in the dark web. Where you been, where you went. Somebody could have access to all of that data about all the people in America.
Crazy.
So I asked, what'd you say?
I ain't worried. I've never set up an Uber yet.
Oh, really? You've never used your Uber, Reggie?
Reggie, you never used Uber?
Nope.
Me either, Reggie.
You
Never
never
used
used
Uber.
Uber?
Neither?
Nope.
Oh God, I'm an Uber queen when I go to town.
So wait a minute,
I
question,
don't
why you
have
never
an
use
Uber.
Uber?
I have rode with someone, but I didn't.
Oh, you
use
didn't
the app on
initiate
my
the
phone.
ride.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So out of all these years, you ain't never used Uber? Like,
Don't do that, Franco. Don't do that to her,
No.
Reggie. They ain't used to. They said they
Reggie,
haven't used to.
I never have.
you've never
What?
used Uber
No.
for nowhere.
No.
Can y'all put no in the chat?
Closest I've come is the repair facility. The car repair
Mhm.
facility got me a lift.
But you didn't initiate it.
No.
Yeah.
So have
But
y'all
that's
used
good.
Lyft?
Because the dealer paid for it. The dealer initiated that.
So have each
Yeah.
one of y'all used a Lyft?
Yeah, like I just said. So.
No,
You just
neither
said
one. No Uber or Lyft.
Wow, that's
Well, I
interesting.
don't use the mess out of them.
No app.
So it goes to say though, that's gonna have a big effect on a lot of the market this week. Cause yeah, it's gonna tank. So y'all gotta be very like when you. I guess to say I bring this up because we're getting close to the end, but y'all gotta remember like a lot of that stuff that goes on to other companies. A lot of those other companies are involved and investing in those companies. So your hedge funds, your banks, all of those are going to take a dive from that same data because one company affects many. So if you're trading, you got to kind of stay abreast of the things that are actually happening in the market because that's going to be a big one. It was a very large data breach, and it's been on top of the inflation, yeah, you're gonna see some crazy things in the market this week. So,
Well, I'm back to renting cars, though. I'm not really fooling with Uber like that anymore because Uber or Lyft, because the rate, like when I was in Vegas just recently, it was just cheaper for me to rent a car from Avis instead of paying $20 or $30 every time you get in the Uber. So if I'm there for 4 or 5 days, it just depends how many rides I'm going to take. It may be 150. So it was just, now I'm just going back to renting cars. Like when I go back next month, I'll rent a car. When I go to New Orleans, I'll rent a car. So, before I would be quick to get into an Uber or a Lyft, but it's just for me financially, it's just not making any sense. It just depends because, all this inflation, they're going up on everything. Even Uber and Lyft.
I agree. I agree with you on that too, Nicole. It's cheaper to just rent a car for a week versus just Ubering around because the minimum you're going to spend on an Uber is going to be $50.
It is
$50 plus the tip. And by the time you do all that, you could either do Turo or you could have done
right.
Or some type of rental car service. And it also depends on where you're at too.
Right, because I was shocked even. I'm sorry, Stacey. Go ahead.
I was gonna say if you're in New York or something like that, or DC, then parking is an issue.
Right. Right. So when I go to those cities, of course, you're correct. Like I would especially DC. I go to DC a lot. So so I would Uber, of course, in DC or even like you said, New York, but like Vegas, and it just depends. Like my last visit, I wasn't on the Strip. The next visit, I don't know if I'm gonna be on the Strip or not. So not being on the Strip, yeah, I needed to drive around, but it's just, I was like, and then too, sometimes if I'm flying in by myself, just, safety purposes as well. Because I shouldn't have seen this movie. And I was like, I was done with Uber and Lyft. But it's just cheaper to rent a car.
well, I think that's a good thing that everybody's back renting cars. So nobody uses Turo versus renting a car.
No, I've never tried Turo. I've been messing with Stacey on Facebook talking about let me rent that Fiat for $20. But no, I've not. I'm an Avis preferred, so I get a lot of perks with that. So, like I always get a free upgrade. No, I come, my name is on the board. I just go straight to my car. And I have to stop in, see nobody. I just go straight to my car and leave.
Well, makes sense. Well,
Yep.
I get
I
it.
enjoy my perks.
Well, I mean, that's
I wanted to talk about one more way to get paid in that cash flow. Where I was talking about, I forgot. The fourth way you can get paid if you're holding a stock that pays a dividend, and it pays a dividend. You know, you're holding 100 shares, so that's 100 times X, whatever the dividend is. So that's 4 ways of passive cash flow off of one trade. I forgot about that one.
Well, I do have some good news when I'm going to get some shares of Tesla and Amazon and Apple soon. So I'm excited.
How?
What do you mean how?
Are you just gonna buy them right out?
Yes. And then I'm going to put, I think I'm put about 15,000. I don't know, it's between 15,000 or 20,000. I'm going to get a money market and go ahead and just stop talking about it and just do it. So I'm just trying to figure out how much I'm going to put in here.
You gonna put 15,000 in the market?
Money market?
What you mean, money? You gonna let the money?
The money market. Oh,
I'm going to get me a money market account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, but you should have put 15.
Oh no, I'm gonna get a money market account at Navy Federal. I've been trying to do it. That was one of the things that Dave Ramsey. Y'all know I went through that too a couple of years ago. But you know, when I went to that Dave Ramsey course, like my credit score went up to a 792. Over the time it's fluctuated. It goes up and down. But you know, my goal is to get it back over an 8. I just think it's just good to have good credit. And I'm looking at some business grants to write. So I'm trying to, write me some grants so I can do some things I'm trying to do.
Nicole, you said are you gonna buy stocks with the money market? What does the stock and the money market got to do with each other?
No, it's 2 different things. I'm gonna buy stocks. Yeah.
All right.
I'm
You
gonna
had me
buy
confused.
stocks, and then I'm gonna have a money market account.
Okay, I got you.
About $15,000 in it. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what the rate of return? What kind of rate you want to give you in that money market a year?
I'm gonna. So I've decided to get a financial advisor. So because of the large of I've never got this type of money. So I'll meet with him and we just kind of go over just how I'm gonna move it. But I did, that was one thing I did. I wanted to get the Tesla, the Amazon, and Apple, maybe 5 to 6 shares of each. Because y'all know I was about to do it recently.
Why not?
I mean, I can. But I'm just trying to be disciplined. I put something on my Facebook the other day, just, talking about how I'm just trying to stay disciplined and focused. That's what I'm working on. I don't think that I've drifted. I just want to make sure that I owe it to myself to be consistent, disciplined, and focused. And so when I, do this last little bit with this refinance, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing with the money. I don't want to get a substantial amount of money and just not do the right thing with it.
That's a good
plus,
thing.
I have a lot of debt that I have to pay.
I challenge you, before you invest in the money market, ask the advisor what the rate of return is.
Okay.
And then bring it back to the group and let's discuss it as a group.
Okay. You said the rate of return?
Yeah. What kind of, because when you put in the money market, it's almost like you lock in, you guarantee, right.
Yeah, it's like a CD. You gotta let it hold for a certain period of time.
Locking up funds, which is goes. I'm not going to say goes against, but the thing is that everything I've been talking about for the last 6 months or so has been trying to put away money, haven't earned a decent amount of interest. It's tough to beat the inflation rate without just throwing it all into the markets, but having it stay liquid so that when the opportunity comes, you can pull the trigger. And that's why I've been doing everything like, I've been talking to you guys about the interest rates with Discover accounts. I've been talking to you guys about Current at that 4%. I've been talking to you guys about all those things so that you can have that money at the ready, because you are, when you throw it into the markets, even in CDs, because I've been tracking CDs too. And the interest rates are going up on those too. But the thing is that when you tie up funds, that's the easiest way to call it, is you're tying up funds. And when you tie up funds, you're putting funds away for a future. And yeah, those things might be very well guaranteed by the government. But what happens when we all come across the next Jackson, Mississippi opportunity, and you're like, man, I can't wait to act on it, but you're like, crap, now my money's tied up.
I definitely want to thank everybody for joining us here at Next Play Investors. As you can see, we're going to have a topic every week about something different. We're definitely trying to be more intentional, definitely not trying to drift and get back to the old way that we actually used to have our show. We've learned a lot, and as you can see, the core group actually always comes in with great information from all different sides, so you have the way of making a great opinion. Definitely want to thank you for coming and joining us again here and every night. And you can also always join us by going to facebook.com, clicking on the link, and you'll get the Google link to be able to join. Again, we thank you again for joining us and being here. And we definitely want to make sure that everybody comes in and enjoys and have a great time. If you got any questions or you want to post content for us to talk about, definitely go to the Facebook group and actually send us a message privately or post it in the group, and we'll make sure we talk about it on the show to answer your questions. Y'all have a wonderful night and enjoy your week.